Hey guys, it's been a while. I think about like 2 months by now. But welcome back to the channel. My name is Miranda Toy. I'm a multidisciplinary artist who creates art and is on the internet. And we are trying to figure out how to elevate our art business this year. But for this video, I wanted to kind of focus on my 2025 recap. I wanted to share some of the artwork that I created this past year, as well as share some of the life slash personal aspects you don't typically get to see, obviously, on here or my socials, just because I do keep a lot of it private. But I guess to start off, I started off 2025 completely expecting my shift from animal portrait pastel art to shift over to oil painting portraits. I have always been so terrified of creating portraits because I always felt like if I didn't get the portrait correct and it didn't look like the person, then I failed. So that was a big mind shift at the beginning of 2025. Well, I guess let's start with the personal side of things. I was unemployed at some point. I ended up having to work two jobs at some point. I am a full-time mom and I am a full-time wife. So art kind of came in the moments of create it when it's possible. Obviously, when losing the job, I had a lot of free time, but I am not like a businessy person whatsoever. I'm still trying to learn, I'm still trying to figure it out. So that was a bit of a struggle. I did manage to do two art markets, and that was also kind of interesting just because I felt like my niche of work was not meant for those types of markets because it wasn't specifically an art market. It was just one of those like farmer markets on a Sunday that you would go and visit during the summertime. So it was cool though. I got to meet some people. I got to connect with some interesting stories, interesting people, see my friends who came to support as well. So that was awesome. Also, one of the biggest things I guess this year that had happened was my husband and I's trip to Europe. This was our first time visiting Europe, and we have been talking about Europe for the past like 9 years that we've been together. Our 10-year anniversary is coming up in May, and I have always said, please let's go to Europe. And finally, we got the opportunity to go. So we ended up taking the 3 week vacation to Europe. Went to London, went to Amsterdam, went to Paris, went to Lisbon in Portugal. So it was a lot of cool destinations, and I felt like I was really starting to get into the art at the oil paintings and art at that time, and seeing the Renaissance and seeing like those big dramatic paintings that you would see at castles, and I like just head over heels fell in love, and I thought that's where I wanted to take my art, and I did take my art in that direction, but more to come with that. So I guess, honestly, I didn't prepare for this video and I don't have a timeline of this video. So it's just kind of going as we're going because that's the type of person I am and I should be more structured, but we're gonna get better together, okay? We're gonna get better. This is my paint spatula. So this is our little microphone at the moment. Okay, so let's start off. In 2025, I created a total of 24 artworks, and I try to make a little list. I hope that's the correct number, but if not, I'll make sure I insert like a after editing type of situation. But I created one pastel artwork, which is going to be this leopard over here. That's what I had created for my pastel work. I created 5 stipple drawings. One of them was more of like a stipple slash line work drawing. And then another one, I actually reached out to an electronic dot pen company called Carolola. I did a review on their stipple pen or pointillism pen. And although I wasn't a huge fan of it, it did save me some time. I wasn't fully happy with how my artwork turned out with it, maybe just because of the technique or I still have to get used to the product, but overall, it's pretty cool. And then the other 3, I believe, it was all just manual hand dots. And honestly, that's like my most therapeutic, most, I guess, in control way of creating an artwork into how I was envisioning it to come out. So that might be my controlling side of my mind. And then I created 8 total canvas paintings. And by canvases, I mean like actually canvas paper with the wood and everything. I created 8 of those. One of them was my large, or 2 of them were my largest ones. 2 of them was specifically right after visiting Europe and being inspired by the Renaissance and how just like the women were in the pictures and how just the elegance and then the gold frames and everything. I really, really love that type of style. And so I created a couple of those. Another one was a self portrait in black and white of myself. I think you can see it right up there. And then another one was a woman who that I ended up I naming, I met myself here. And it's just more so of how I think when you get to a low point in your life, but you're still showing up. And then I created 2 little oval paintings that are hung up there too. Those ones, one of them I got the inspiration off of Pixabay. I just really loved the whole like woman going through the curtain type of vibe. And then the other one is just the one lone soul at the table. And then I ended up doing a sketchbook series of oil paints, and I only got to 9. I really wanted to do like one per week, but I just ended up approaching it whenever I could. So I ended up doing a total of 9. I think my most favorite one was the first one that I did in January, and then I would say my most recent one, just because I felt like I really did a great job with the blending and the coloring and just the softness of the face. And lastly, I think I put down one sketch on here just because I ended up buying another little sketchbook at the San Francisco MoMA Museum, and the paper is made with like a stone material, and so it feels really, really soft and really smooth, and it can handle a lot of mediums on there. And so I decided, why not just start like a little mini sketchbook series with it, with just pen, pencil, all that stuff. But then when I started it, I was not a huge fan of it. And so I ended up doing one and that was it. But more than likely, knowing myself, I'm going to end up missing it. I'm going to approach it or get bored or want to do something different. So we'll see what 2026 brings as far as that little mini sketchbook. Um oh, so yeah, so then another big one in 2025 is I ended up reaching out to a lot of different companies because I have these artworks that I want to create. And a lot of the times, as an artist, like I have put a lot of my own spending money into starting up Art by Mirna Way, into the materials, the time, and all that stuff. And sometimes it's nice when a company that you want to try to utilize their products, or you are a big fan of them and you want to partner up with them and receive products so you can create something and then they can, use it as well. So only like 2 companies ended up, reaching back out to me. One of them was Phoenix Art Materials. They actually sent me 4 11 by 14 canvases and a whole thing of oil paint sticks. I have not tried the oil paint sticks yet, but I have used their canvases, 2 of them actually, one for my self-portrait and then one for the most recent artwork. And I don't know, I really love the canvases. I think the size of it is perfect and it's pretty durable. It hasn't warped on me. Once I do use the oil painting, I'll definitely make a video and kind of review that. So yeah, Phoenix was one, and then the other second one was Carolola. I did reach out to another, I think it's called Lumino Ink, and they're another stipple kind of like tattoo style brand. And initially in August, they were like, yeah, we're all for it, we'll send you a product. And then September came around, October came around, still nothing. I sent out an email and they're like, we have low products, or like we have like a back order, whatever. And then I'm still waiting. So August, September, October, November, December, still haven't heard anything back. So I was going to reach back out to them this year, 2026, this month, and try to see if they would be willing to send me their product to try it out, test it out, and do a review for you guys. And I do have some stipple artwork ideas that I want to do in my mind. So if I can use a product that is going to save me a lot of time and still have like that precision that I want with stippling, then I would at least like to give it a try. You know what I mean? Also, in 2025, I redid my art studio space like 5 times. Okay. We actually moved in this townhouse in July of this year. And I think I just cannot figure out for the life of me the type of style that I want with all of the different types of looks that I love. And so I've redone it a couple of times. I'll show you some pictures over here and some videos. But honestly, I think with how it is right now, I love it. I love the kind of like the flow of everything. I started hanging up more of my artworks in the background just to kind of like get more of an inspiration and more of a, you see your artwork, you see the progress that you've created. You don't want to stop, although sometimes you're like, ugh, maybe am I doing this wrong? But that's just me talking out loud. All right, so to kind of wrap up this video, and what I want to do in 2026. So I actually just updated my website. Feel free to check it out. Let me know. I would love any feedback. I try to create it to be more simple, more free flowing with like how you navigate, and also kind of leaving the originals and prints in their own section and making it just easier to navigate overall with a simple theme. If you go visit it, let me know your feedback. Let me know in the comments below, please. And so that was like kind of like my first task for 2026. So the second thing in 2026 that I keep going back and forth about, and I also went back and forth in 2025, is Patreon. And I feel like I'm still having doubts about it. Not more so about like the subscribers, but more so about like the amount of time that I have that I'm able to actually put into a platform. And working, because I'm currently working like 2 jobs right now. I'm a mom, I'm a wife. Like there's very limited time in my days, and so when it comes to that aspect of putting on an additional thing, that I'm still trying to work on my YouTube, I'm still trying to work on my social medias. um, I want to make sure that I focus my focus in the right place and my time in the right place. Third, YouTube is definitely one of the ones that I want to grow. I know I do a lot of short form videos, but I do want to do these long form videos, at least one post every 2 weeks. I saw another creator do this, Brooke Cormier. I love watching her videos, and she kind of did this one video every 2 weeks. And that seems a lot less daunting than it is to create one video a week. And more so, like, again, is with the whole time. How much time do I have? What can I do? What do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to watch? So yeah, that's my second goal. Or I guess my so first goal was the website. Second goal was Patreon. I'm still going back and forth on it. Third goal is my YouTube, making sure that I post once every 2 weeks. And um fourth goal is just, to create the artwork that I want to create, and being able to share it with you guys, being able to share any tutorials that I can, any tips that I can, and just growing my audience and growing with you, and having you be a part of this journey, and like getting feedback from you guys. And that's kind of like my goal of 2026. I don't really have like a number of markets that I want to do. It comes down again to the time commitments that I have. And I think 2026 is going to be a self-growth year, and also like a shift in what type of artwork I'm putting out, what type of videos I'm putting out, and taking the time to put in effort into those, rather than this. It's more so just like quality over quantity overall at the end of the day. Well then, let me check my little list, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, I think that's all the notes that I have for this video. Thank you guys again so much for being here, for sticking with me. The subscribers who joined me even when I was at like only 2 followers, I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for watching the video. If you have any recommendations, any tips, any video content, or anything else that you would like for me to create, let me know. It would give me a list that I can at least like go off of what you guys want. And yeah, I'm looking forward to 2026. I hope that you guys end up having a wonderful 2026. Make sure to create your vision boards. Make sure to take a moment and reflect back on 2025, the good, the bads, and then just leave it in 2025 and make sure that you bring into 2026 a positive version of you, an open version, somebody who's willing to grow mentally, physically, everything. So, yeah, thank you again, you guys, for being here. And I look forward to what the rest of the year has to bring. As always, love yourself, love your family, love your life. Bye, guys.